If you enjoy cozy survival games, then you've probably heard of Outbound, the open-world campervan game set to release next year. But the Outbound team just made the exciting announcement that alpha gameplay will be available for Kickstarter backers on April 14th. I did back it on Kickstarter, but was kindly provided with a sneak peek so that I could give you all a first look at the game. I spent several days exploring and camping in this gorgeous countryside and will share 10 things you need to know about Outbound to decide whether to add it to your Steam wishlist. First of all, what is Outbound? Simply put, you explore a picturesque landscape in your camper van, which you turn into your home and scavenge for resources, craft machines, grow food, download blueprints that unlock new technology, furniture, and decor, and find all campfires, cairns, and hidden gnomes. As of the alpha, there's no particular purpose or end goal other than to leave the city for a wilderness adventure. You'll be living a sustainable life with a light survival challenge, and there's also 4-player multiplayer, though this is currently in the experimental phase. As I mentioned, there is survival in Outbound for both you and your van. The player needs to monitor health, hunger, and stamina. There are no difficulty settings currently, but these needs are pretty easy to manage, though hunger requires persistent attention, especially in the early game when you don't have recipes to cook better food. You can later grow mini vegetable gardens in your van once you've unlocked the grower blueprint, and this will help to supplement the food you harvest in the wild. There is fall damage that will affect your health, but the devs have cleverly placed healing herbs in locations where players might fall from tree houses. I totally did this just for science. And sleeping helps to heal damage, but it will also increase your hunger. Sleeping isn't required, but you also can't drive your van when it's dark, so sleep is a quick way to start the next day, and you can adjust the day length within settings. I did notice that the ability to craft better clothing is an upcoming feature, so I'm wondering if perhaps temperature might eventually be another survival element added to the game. As far as the van, it obviously needs energy and has a biofuel burner that can convert things like fiber or wood into power, and once you find the blueprints, you can make solar panels and wind turbines for the top of your van, as well as engine upgrades that grant you access to steep climbs. The vehicle research has a skill tree of sorts to unlock van improvements. You can use a combination of the various charging methods from the biofuel burner, solar panels, and wind turbines to simultaneously charge the battery quite quickly, though the solar panel and wind power are only active when your van is parked in camper mode. And a couple fun details about the van, other than its comically bad turning radius, are an odometer that actually records your distance driven in the game, and a license plate that you get to personalize. Let's see who can figure out what popular game my license plate references. The first person to guess correctly will get their comment pinned below. Third, Outbound is all about exploring to find blueprints, campfires, and fun extras like the cairns, which are rocks stacked as trail markers, and gnomes. The map will slowly reveal location details as you drive through new areas, and so many times I happen to spy something in the distance, such as a radio tower that wasn't marked, a gnome to collect, a fun machine that gives you bobblehead blueprints in exchange for old bottle caps, or a random paint booth in the middle of the wilderness, which you can use to repaint your van, by the way. I found this rewarding, and it kept me constantly scanning the horizon. As you progress, new radio transmissions will pop up in previously explored areas, so you'll need to keep revisiting areas of the map to get the blueprints. Crafting is another major game mechanic, with plenty of tools and machines to make, as well as furniture and decor. But you will first have to find the blueprints at the radio towers, with most towers giving you a choice from several blueprints, so you'll have to pick based upon your most urgent need. You'll find your crafting materials scattered about the world in the form of logs, rocks, plants, and even litter, as well as some supplies found in the boxes at the campsites and abandoned camps and cabins. Some resources, like larger logs and boulders, need upgraded tools to be harvested, and you'll often need to use multiple machines to create more complex resources, especially when making higher tier tools. So there's some fulfilling complexity to the crafting system. Of course, we can't forget about base building. You can build a really cool pop-up living quarters above your van, and it magically accordions out when you open your side door. As you research base building, you'll have access to glass greenhouse materials and wooden trellis building pieces. I didn't do much base building until late game because I didn't really need a bigger living quarters, and materials like wood and fiber were needed elsewhere. But for those of us who like to nest in survival games, the base building is very enjoyable, and I love how it magically pops up when you activate camper mode. 6 is inventory management, which, let's be honest, can make or break a game. I'm in love with the quick deposit feature in Outbound, which is a little compartment on the rear quarter panel of the van where you can blow your load of inventory into the van's storage, where it's instantly sorted and stacked. The storage compartment is right above the deposit module, and you can quickly grab items you need or even eat directly from the food in your van's storage. Personal storage is in the form of a backpack which holds 20 different items and has a weight limit, which is the real limiting factor and will slow your player to a snail's pace when overloaded. But you can craft backpack upgrades that hold more weight and items. Next is multiplayer, which was a highly requested feature, so the developers have recently added it as an option, but it's still quite experimental. Multiplayer will unlock after dismantling your first roadblock at the very beginning of the game, and you can play with up to 4 players. I can see multiplayer lending itself nicely to playing as a caravan of explorers traveling together, but I imagine resources will need balanced for this, as I barely scraped by on food and lumber most of my game. Number 8, Outbound's aesthetic is incredibly soothing. The weather changes from joyful sunshine that saturates the soft art style with vibrant hues to rain showers and thunderstorms that make you want to find a cozy campsite and listen to the raindrops tapping on the van. Melodious musical tones wander in and out as you peacefully explore with no looming threats other than mild survival. It's immersive and wholly relaxing to the soul. Although Outbound is already an impressively well-functioning experience for an alpha game, there are understandably some areas where I struggled. Navigating the map plagued me the entire game, and I think it's the combination of not being able to zoom in, as icons often overlap, and the van icon is large and doesn't rotate to show which direction the van is facing. The compass at the top of the screen does help a lot, but with winding roads and the map issues, I wasted a lot of time going the wrong way. Women drivers, am I right? Additionally, I'd love for a way to control which quests are pinned to the right of the screen, though there is an awesome mode for taking screenshots, and on behalf of all YouTubers needing to make thumbnail shots, I want to hug the developers for this feature. It's awesome. I'd also love a traveler's guide with some basic explanations, maybe accessed in the van's glove compartment. I believe this is actually a planned feature based upon this screenshot the developers included in the press kit. It's just not yet in the game. Controller support is coming, but isn't here yet, though with the awesome inventory management and driving, Outbound is perfect for controller gameplay. And my last struggle was with stamina. Maybe I'm just impatient, but I was really annoyed with how slow the character walks, and the sprinting stamina is short-lived. I literally kept my pinky on the shift button the whole game, which sucked. Walk speed needs to be buffed for sure. And finally, number 10, what's coming to Outbound by the time it fully releases in the first half of 2026. The biggest addition will be new maps with many more locations and secret items to discover while living the campervan life. And just for reference, I spent 11 hours on the first map and didn't find all the gnomes or unlock some of the features at the major points of interest. So it's not going to be a short game. We'll also get additional crafting and food recipes, new materials and building pieces, customization options for base items and characters, fishing and beekeeping mechanics, which will add some much needed life to the world, new minigame variations like when using the workbench, and a dog companion. That's really cool. So these are the 10 things you need to know about Outbound, and a first look at the alpha gameplay that Kickstarter backers will have access to as the game progresses towards full release next year. I think players who enjoy cozy survival games like Aloft, Planet Crafter, Astroneer, and the upcoming Solarpunk, we'll find that Outbound provides a good fix for a mild survival experience in a pretty environment. Outbound probably won't appeal to those seeking a moderately challenging, action-packed survival experience, but it's easy to learn with the perfect cozy aesthetics for a chill survival experience alone or with friends. I'm eager to see where it goes throughout the alpha and beta playtests. Let me know in the comments what you think of this first look at Outbound, and are you adding it to your Steam wishlist? And if you don't want to miss out on the latest in chill and cozy games, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.